This is JGTV3, Volume 3, Episode 3, Number 3. So I'm starting to get the hang of this video blogging thing, specifically from a technology perspective. I've started using my iPhone, little iPhone tripod, and I have an external mic, the Shure MV5. I will be sure to put a nifty little screenshot of what that all looks like when I'm done recording this. I'm going to edit it in right here. There it is. Okay, cool. So that's my setup. It's working out really well. I kind of like it. Main thing is just making sure that my hair looks good, which it does. So this morning I woke up nice and early, which is cool because that's not really my thing. I'm really more of a night owl. In fact, I was up kind of late last night doing work. So it's cool. I actually got up before 7 o'clock. It was still dark out. And as soon as I woke up, I did some stretching. That was cool. And then I came downstairs without my phone, and I just brought a book with me. And it's another thing that I'm really trying to work on. This is advice from my business coach, was in the morning, instead of immediately looking at my phone. And I was very impacted by, there's a Simon Sinek talk where he talks about the addiction of mobile phones and dopamine and all that sort of good stuff. Look it up. It's really good. It's actually pinned to the top of my Twitter account right now, @JGibbard. Go check it out. But that's besides the point. So my business coach said that I should be reading when I wake up in the morning, suggested that I should be reading when I wake up in the morning. And I really like the idea, and I have done it a couple times, and I generally find that it's a much nicer, more calm start to my morning. So this morning I decided the primary book that I'm reading right now, or I've started reading, is over at my girlfriend's place. I'm sleeping at my place tonight. I slept in my place last night. And on my way down to go make myself breakfast and have some delightful oolong tea, I decided I would grab one of the books off of my shelf and just flip through it and see what happened. Now, something that I posted recently in my weekly newsletter, which if you don't subscribe, I'll post a link in the description. But one of the things I do is I post things that I found on the internet that I think are interesting, I think you should look at. And one of the things in this week's, which will be going out Sunday morning, is a video of my business coach talking about how to process a book. And that's different from reading a book. He talked a lot about how, in school we're taught that a book is basically this thing that you start with. It's it's got a cover, a front and back, and you read it from the front to the back. And he talks about how from his speed reading courses he's learned to process a book differently. That means use it as a tool. And I've started applying that method as I read through books. And one, I'm reading through a lot more books way faster, and I'm processing the relevant information in it much more quickly and efficiently. So this morning I picked up a book by Jeffrey Gitomer. It's called The Little Red Book of Sales Answers. Very interesting book so far. I popped it open, and in the table of contents I looked at all the different, there are 6.5 there's 7 parts to the book. It calls the 7th one 6.5. But I began looking through the table of contents for what I wanted to brush up on or learn more about. And part 2 is prospecting for golden leads and making solid appointments. So prospecting is one of those things that obviously if you're in sales, is an extremely crucial part of being able to close more sales. More prospects, hopefully more sales. So I decided to just go through it and flip through and look for answers and everything. And one of the parts in this section that I thought was really, really good was ways of prospecting that don't involve cold calling, which is good because I've never been a fan of cold calling. I don't believe it's a particularly effective way. In the book he talks about it's becoming a less and less effective way. And even though that's there to open up the opportunity, one of the better ways, and this is generally what we advocate with clients, and I do it myself, is creating opportunities for your ideal prospect to see you in a flattering light, that be a public speaking engagement, or see you in the press or something like that. So it's all about building that kind of top of funnel awareness where your ideal prospect may become interested in having a conversation, at least starting a conversation. And if you're known to them, that conversation is much easier, which is one of my goals of 2017, is to become more known. Not because I seek fame and fortune, but maybe just fortune. And the ability to work with more clients and better clients and to grow my company. So what I want to get to on this, though, is that there are a couple different suggestions that he makes in this book, and I think that they're really good, and I want to touch on them real quick. So he gives 6.5 different ideas of how you can stop making cold calls and make more appointments. There's write an article, get on a talk show, give a speech, send an e-idea of the week. It's an email marketing, some sort of thing you send out to a customer or prospect or influence list. Hold a free seminar, network at a business function, or get a referral from someone who loves you. So all good things. And I made some notes. And what I thought of is, even though a lot of these are things that I would standardly suggest to a client, do a seminar, send out an email newsletter that has tons of value for your ideal prospect. These are things I would normally recommend. But I began looking at what we've been doing internally at True Voice Media, and I realized that we haven't done enough of those things. We haven't hosted any webinars, for instance, at least not in recent memory, or ones that we did ourselves. Generally, I'm on somebody else's webinar. Hosting an event, we haven't ever hosted an event. A while back, I thought about doing it, but it's one of those things that just kind of fell off the radar. Idea of the week for clients, we haven't even ever segmented our list to send specific emails just to our clients, which is a real value add, and it's something that we would undoubtedly recommend to somebody else, but we've never done it ourselves. Within those, I saw that not only are there those opportunities to immediately get in front of the right people to sell our service, but beyond that, we have the ability to sell product. That is, we have the ability to sell informational products to the people in those rooms. So, for instance, if we were to do a webinar or an event, at the end of it, based upon whatever the content of that event was or that webinar was, we could actually have resources that people could then purchase, whether it be for $9 or $149 or whatever. And it got me thinking, and this is what I'd like you to think about if you're watching this video right now, is what assets do you have readily available in your company, right? What intellectual property, what content have you created, what things do you have that you could very easily, very quickly parlay into either a webinar or an event or a newsletter or some sort of piece of content or event that you could get in front of your ideal prospect. For instance, we have one. The first thing that came to my mind is, and it's something that we get a lot. We work a lot in B2B, and we get asked a lot, what do I do about my LinkedIn profile? And we have an entire 15-point checklist about how you can go about having an ideal LinkedIn profile. And it extends not just into how your profile is presented, but how you also get in front of other people on that network. Now, that's a great piece of content. It's got tons of value in it, and people routinely pay us upwards of $500, $750, and $1,000 to actually edit their LinkedIn profiles for them. But what about the people that can't afford $500, $750, or $1,000 for their LinkedIn profile? Well, we can easily put together a piece of content and resell it over and over and over and over and over for $49 or $99 or something that's a little bit more palatable. So we use the webinar as the ability or the event to get in front of people and give them a little bit of that information, and then give them the ability to buy the content that helps to support that, the worksheets, the templates that go along with explaining what to do next, all of those sort of things. So for yourself, as you're watching this, if this has gotten you to think about anything at all, what sort of assets do you already have that you can then turn around and parlay into a webinar or an event or some form of content that you can send out to your prospects or clients? And remember, you have to make sure that this is focused on value for them, not value for you. Because if you're just going to pitch your services, everyone's going to turn a deaf ear to you, because nobody wants to be sold. What people do want is something that's valuable to them that they can buy. So just keep that in mind. That's been the end of episode 3 of Jeff Gibber TV, and I encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing these video blogs all year. And on top of that, you can follow me on Instagram and follow some of my micro video content. That's at jgibbard. You can also follow me on Snapchat, and you can watch all my silly shit, which is all my characters that I make up from all the filters that they give us access to, and that's Jeff Gibbard. And I hope to find you back here on tomorrow's video, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care.